Hey guys, back with another video. Got a very special guest. A good friend of mine, good friend of a couple of my friends. Mr. Chris Furches. Chris, what's going on, buddy?
It's pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name's Chris Furches, of course. I live from Jonesboro, Tennessee. I'm 23 years old, and I've done racing motocross for the last 13 years.
That's a long time. What accomplishments have you accomplished throughout your racing career?
It's took a lot for me from starting from 10. I started in 2010, and from there it just raised up, and that's how it just all came about.
What's it like racing in the AMA sanctioned events? Is it more intensified?
Yeah, it's definitely it's yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What's your goals for this year?
This year to hopefully do a couple nationals, but do more locals for the Hot Summer Night Series. Of course, gonna run expert in the class, and just race it, have fun.
Awesome. I've seen you race a few times at a couple of the local MX tracks around here. Cathy's Creek. What's it like racing a quad on Cathy's?
It seems like every time I've went there, I've never had really good luck. I've had maybe once or twice of good luck there, but every time I went there, it's a good track. It's quad friendly, love it to death. But every time I went out there, there'd either be chain break or hitting the gate, and then my bike quit on me right in the middle of it, and I'm like, you know. But it's a very good track, and I would go back to it again.
What about 221? That seems to be a track that favorites to your style of riding. You're more of a wide open, loose kind of guy.
Yeah, that's probably the best place. And not only that, but when I was last there, Cooper Webb was there and Chad Reed. So I thought, oh my gosh, So being able to watch them, but the track there, it's better than Muddy Creek. It's long, it's got big jumps. Every dirt biker and quad can ever ask for there.
Yeah. They've definitely put a lot of hard work into that track. Have you raced Iron City yet?
Not that I know of. I don't think I have, no.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if any of the series come through that allow quads with that. And let's touch on that subject of some of these series kicking the quads out of their series. I know as a quad rider that's definitely got to be upsetting. What's your take on that?
Yeah, when I heard about it, we all knew it was going to come eventually, but there was nothing we can do. And yeah, I'm pretty heartbroken that our families of quads can't do this, like for the Thor Mega Series and all that. But I am at least very blessed that we're going to at least build the Hot Summer Nights. At least that's one good thing that I'm glad they're going to let us do.
Yeah.
And then I started getting on my dirt bike now because I got a CR 125. It's a nice little bike and love it to death. And I'm kind of running that when I'm off the quad right now. So.
Yeah, I seen you went to some I think it was the indoor series this 2 weeks ago. So Chris, I know you ran some indoors this year, especially last week on a dirt bike. Tell us how that went and what's it like for the transition?
Yeah, it's definitely different compared to a quad. I can guarantee that. When I first got on that dirt bike, it's been a long time because lately I've had bike issues with that, carburetor issues, so I haven't been able to ride it lately. Well, finally I got a chance to finally get back on it, and I finished, I think, 9th in one class, and then the other class I finished 8th. And for me, that's not too awful bad because for me being a starter.
Yeah. Are you possibly going to be doing some outdoor with dirt bikes as well this year? Is that a possibility for you being a duo kind of guy?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a couple Hot Summer Nights and maybe even try to do a couple Thor Mega Series with it.
Yeah. I don't know which series it is. I mean, I know Victory Sports, they got a whole bunch of series that's up under them. But I know one of them comes through Travelers Rest in South Carolina. It's a little track inside of a speedway.
Yeah.
You know, that track, I like that track too. I don't know what it's like on a quad, but it looks like it's kind of flowy. I mean, is that a track that you're looking forward to going back to?
Uh, yes and no. I mean, they do have good jumps. I like it, but I think it's way too tight, in my opinion. With the speed we do, I mean, in ways I think, it's kind of a tight. But for if it was a dirt bike wise, I like it. I think I'm
Yeah.
all for
So I actually
it.
pulled up some of your previous results within the ATV MX stuff. I know last year you finished what looks to be 13th overall in Open B, and then
Yep.
you finished 16th overall in 450B.
hmm
Let's see, and with those results, you raced at Loretta's, it looks like, and finished with going with 11 in Moto 1 and the 10th in Moto 2, finishing 12th overall. What's it like riding at Loretta's?
Oh, that's probably the most best track you'll ever go to in your life. I mean, it's kind of like a family vacation when you go down there. I mean, it's nice. There's lakes and rope swings. There's everything down there for everybody. I mean, as soon as racing's over, you go out in there, get in the pool because it's hot out there.
Yeah,
You can ride your quad all the way up to Loretta Lynn's house. That's even you know, or they used to. Now I think they've switched it up now, but yeah, Loretta's. It's an honor to be able to race at that track. I mean, that is probably a big goal.
yeah. Do you wish that, and I'm sure everybody would agree with me, but at the same time, I see the point as to why they only want to race there twice a year, and that's for, the Loretta Lynn's Motocross Championship, and then I think the quad guys come through. Would you like to see them do a couple more rounds at Loretta's?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually thought about that not too long ago. It's been a little bit, but yeah, I always thought they should give us a couple more you know months or weeks or days to be able to race there again instead of just racing there once a year and then move on.
Yeah, I know. On the motocross side of it, Loretta Lynn's is the biggest race you can really make it as an amateur.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people really just they can't really comprehend the amount of hard work, the training, the not even to mention the money that goes into the sport to be able to make it to Loretta's. And then,
Yeah.
you go to Loretta's and you're lined up with 40 other guys, and it's just like, okay, this is the make or break point right here.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us about, let's see, looks like you went to High Point as well, and
Yep.
Open B and 450B as well. You finished 14th in Open B and then 18th in 450B.
Yep.
Let's see what are these other tracks. What's your favorite track you've raced?
Like for national wise,
Yeah, national laws.
um, well, there's a couple. The best one ever, I think, would have to be Unadilla back in
Unadilla.
2015 when I won my national championship. That was probably the best track I rode.
How many national championships do you have?
Really just one. Really, I would have been a two-time national champion, but I had a bad wreck that year, and it swiped me out of that class, and so I was the only champion in the other class, 90 CVT, and then there was a 90 All Senior.
Yeah, I do see a couple AMA plates in the background. How many state championships do you have?
State championships was I probably got. Let's see, I think that's just half of them. I probably got about. I'd say probably about 10, 11, give or take.
As a rider, well, I like it especially, but being able to go home with a trophy or a plaque, it's a good feeling walking away knowing, hey, I did an accomplishment. You know, uh, is there any sponsors or shout outs you want to give? I know you got a bunch on the
Yeah,
website, but there's a couple that's not mentioned.
yeah. For one, I like to, of course, be Fly Racing. We get a big discount with them. And if if I forget them, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm trying to kind of think of a couple. Garnet, EVS, Renegade Fuels, your Mosi Thumb Throttles, Henson Clutches, SSI Decals, and Western Power Sports. I mean, there's just a whole bunch.
I know you raced with Randy Dinkins. Let's touch a little bit about that subject. What's it like?
Oh, it's fun with when I did my first one, I think was 2018 with him. I didn't know how we were gonna do it because he just said go out there and just have fun, do what you like doing. And I said okay, but they forgot to tell me that you had to make it look like it was a competitiveness. Yeah. Well, I went out there and I stomped the whole thing. I did probably 2.5 laps, just lapped him, and he came, or I think what's his face came over to me and said, "You gotta stop. You gotta make it look like it's more of a race." And I'm like, I forgot. when you're getting that spot, you feel like you just want to keep going.
Oh yeah, but not only that, but the crowd's reaction to whatever the case may be. I know I've done a couple with Randy, and after the races, the kids and even adults want to come up and get autographs, and you're just like,
oh yeah. I've had two pretty funny actual adults. One was drinking pretty good, and the other one, he was threatened to pop one of Randy's trailer tires because I guess the guy really thought it was real. And I went to the guy and said, "It's all fake. It's all fake. It's all fake." The guy was willing to, and I said, "No, dude, don't do that." And then the other guy, he was drunk. When me and him, what's his face, got into a fight, made it look like a fight. One guy said, "Here, grab this beer glass bottle and here, bust it over his head and stuff." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that." But yeah. I love watching the crowd, how they act. I mean, that's what makes it exciting.
What's the future for ATV MX? The ATV scene seems to be going away in a lot of the series and just in general. But what do you think promoters need to do to get a higher bike count and have bigger turnouts for the quads? I see a lot of junk talk on Facebook about how tracks are not allowing quads and stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to show up in some numbers too. What's your take on promoters, or what's your advice to promoters to allow quads to start coming back into the scene?
I think they need to put more youth classes back in. If they would put more youth classes in, then that would raise the numbers up, I'd say, tremendously. Because you got to start from the youngest and then from the oldest.
Yeah. Do you think promoters are worried about time? I mean, I know some nights at Kathy's, we don't get out of there till like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They always have the option to push it back a little bit as far as like start time. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if people are really wanting to race and stuff, I mean, wake up. Don't want to sleep in and get there at the last minute. Get there and make the day go smoother.
Yeah.
Are there any topics that you want to touch on?
Yeah, I'm all right there. Yeah, I'm good.
So what's your future goals for this year? Going into the outdoor season, what's your main goals for this year?
Hopefully go for another championship. Every year I always say, "Oh, that's the last one I'm going to do. Last one I'm going to do." But you can quietly tell I hate the haste. Yeah. But I'll just go for another one. But just have fun with it at this point.
I hear you. What tracks should I be looking for you at? I know there's a couple times that we run into each other and stuff. And I definitely like to get a post-race interview and a pre-race interview, and possibly strap a GoPro to you and get you some footage and upload on the channel. Chris, it's been very nice talking to you. You're a good kid. You know, keep up the hard work. It's definitely paying off, as I can see, and hopefully this video will help you expand your friend zone or whatever the case may be. But I definitely want to try to get your name out there to help you out. So
yeah, thank you again. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir, Chris. Maybe possibly here in a couple of weeks when the outdoors start, we'll get together and get a little bit of an update on how you're doing and how you're feeling on the quad and stuff.
Sounds good.
All right, Chris, I appreciate it, buddy.
I appreciate you. Thank you.